ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Discussing about a very important personality in our parampara, Srila Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri is very special for various reasons. One of the main reasons for us is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master is Ishvara Puri and his spiritual master is Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri is the root of the Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara. And he is not an ordinary personality. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorifies Madhavendra Puri's activities. And he says that Sri Madhavendra Puri used to remain alone. He was completely renounced and always very silent. He was uninterested in everything material, and for fear of talking about mundane things, he always lived without a companion. So why he stayed alone? Just because he did not want to speak anything mundane, anything material. He just wanted always to be immersed in Krishna consciousness and nothing else. There's such an important quality, you see. Uninterested in everything material. Only that person who has got a lot of taste in spiritual subject matter, he will become uninterested in material things. But those who are 50-50, or I should say 70-30 like us, material and spiritual. So, unfortunately, we will see that we'll take a lot of interest in material things. What to do from many lifetimes, we have been doing this. Suddenly we come to devotional service. And we start thinking that, no, I should just think about Krishna and nothing else. Sometimes devotees say also, how nice it would be if I get continuous thoughts of Krishna, sthai bhav. Continuous thoughts of Krishna in a particular relationship with Krishna. Obviously, that's very nice, but for that, first, another thing is also there. Asat Trishna. So, one is supposed to give up Asat Trishna. So, devotees, when they practice devotional service, how much they're taking interest in material activities and how much they're taking interest in Krishna consciousness, that shows their seriousness. And are they really serious in attaining Krishna or not? One is to say and one is to act. And acting is more important, or the actions are more important than one's own speech. Madhavendra Puri would hardly speak, but he would act. He would act on these wonderful principles of devotional service. Just imagine, he was so dear to Krishna, so very dear to Krishna, that Krishna appears in the dream of Madhavendra Puri. Oh, before that, Krishna comes with a pot of milk for Madhavendra Puri to serve him. Lord has this beautiful quality of serving his devotees. Many times people say, Lord Ram, he worshipped Shivlinga, therefore Lord Shiva is supreme. There he just poured the ocean water. Here he is giving Madhavendra Puri a pot of milk. So I think Madhavendra Puri is more supreme. With that logic. Lord's natural nature is to serve. And therefore we also have the propensity to serve. But when we don't serve the Lord, our propensity is not fulfilled. Therefore we are not satisfied. See the Lord. Now how much he's taking interest in serving his devotees. So wonderful. So he gets a pot of milk and then he comes in the dream. He reveals to Madhavendra Puri who is he, and he gives him a service. He orders. I'm there here in the bushes. Please remove me from here and please install me on the top of the mountain. And various other instructions that he got for installing the Gopal Deity. And Madhavendra Puri very wonderfully, he established or installed the beautiful Gopal Deity on the Govardhan. Now what happened after that is the question. For 2 years, Service continued very nicely, where Madhavendra Puri was personally supervising all the service which were rendered to Gopal Dev. Now what happened at the end of 2 years? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is describing this to Nityananda Prabhu, Haridas Thakur and others, sitting in the temple of Remuna. And he says, Ekadina Puri Gosai Dekhila Swapana. Already one swapna he saw, one dream he saw. And there he had received the order from the Lord what he's supposed to do. Now this was the second swapna. This was the second order. Gopal kahe Puri amar tapana hi jaya. Malaya ja chandana lepa tabe se judaya. So Gopal Dev appeared in the dream of Madhavendra Puri and is instructing Madhavendra Puri. Hey Madhav Puri, my entire body is burning. There's so much of temperature in my body. So say Madhavendra Puri might have asked, so what do you expect me to do? You want me to do something? Yes, I want you to do something. And what is that? Get me chandan and apply chandan all over my body, and that will reduce the temperature of my body. Okay, I'll go to the Mathura shop and I'll get chandan. And Gopal, no Mathura shop. You have to go to Nilachal, you have to go to Jagannath Puri. And from there you have to get chandan. Only that chandan will bring down my temperature. Now what do you think Madhavendra Puri might have done? Was he thinking, Arey yaar, itna dur chal ke jana hai abhi? See, it was not some yatra where 200 devotees go together in a train or in a flight. Or even by walk also 200-300 devotees is okay. You can have some fun time. Alone. And he's very old. So Madhavendra Puri didn't say, come on, get satisfied with the chandan that we get in Mathura. Why you want me to go to Nilachal? In fact, as soon as the order came from Gopal, Madhavendra Puri's reaction was, he became extremely happy, ecstatic in love of Godhead. And as soon as he received the order, he said, I will start immediately. But then he had some responsibility back here in Govardhan as well. So he called for devotees. He assigned various services. He made sure there are representatives, the service in charges. Everything was nicely sorted out. He said, okay, I'm going to Nilachal. I'll be soon back. Soon matlab kitna jaldi? He's supposed to go by walk, come back by walk. It's going to take a long time. But he made sure all services will happen nicely. And Madhavendra Puri started. All the way from Vrindavan, Madhavendra Puri, he came by walk till Shantipur. And in Shantipur, he meets a very, very illustrious personality who is going to invoke the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the age of Kali, and his name is Advaitacharya. So they both meet. Advaitacharya was very impressed with the symptoms of Krishna Prem in Madhavendra Puri. He was very impressed. And Advaitacharya decided, if I have to take Diksha, if I have to accept someone as Guru, I'll accept him as my Guru. So Advaitacharya went and he begged that please give me initiation. So at that time, Srila Madhavendra Puri initiates Advaitacharya in Shantipur. So that place is still there in Shantipur if you go. So there are multiple rooms. In one of the rooms, this pastime is depicted where Madhavendra Puri is initiating Advaitacharya. Very beautiful. So now from Shantipur, Madhavendra Puri started walking south. And he comes to a very wonderful place called Remuna. Remuna te kaila Gopinath darshana tararupa dekhiya haila vihivala mana. So these great personalities, when they take darshan of the Lord, their situation is different. When we take darshan of the Lord, nothing happens. Yes. We go stand in front of the Lord, do some eye exercise, ask for something, pay obeisance, come back. And we look around for Prasad also if available. But these personalities, so wonderful. See, when we see some of the deities, when it comes to ISKCON, deities are dressed in a very, very grand way because that was the instruction by Srila Prabhupada. But the traditional temples, if you see, so much of grand decoration is not done. with some designer dresses to the Lord and the matching ornaments and this and that. Nothing. Now, those are all traditionally dressed. So maybe we might not get attracted because we are in our external vision. But these personalities, they're able to take darshan of the Lord. And when Madhavendra Puri took darshan of the Lord, he was able to feel the presence of the Lord there. He went ecstatic. He was overwhelmed. Vihivala mana. His mind was overwhelmed with ecstasy. What happened after that? Nritya Gita Kari Jaga Mohane Vasila Kya Kya Bhoga Lage Brahmana Puchila. So he started jumping and dancing and singing. And he sat in a place called Jagamohan. Jagamohan is a place where devotees stand and take darshan of the Lord. Just outside the altar. That's called Jagamohan. So there he sat. Now the priest came there. So Madhavendra Puri, he asked the priest a very, very important question. What all bhogas you offer here? What are different bhogas you offer here? It was not that Madhavendra Puri was planning कि भोग लगाएंगे मुझे सब मिल जाएगा खाने के लिए. He had a different plan. He wanted to know this for a particular purpose. Just by seeing the arrangement of the bhoga offering, Madhavendra Puri understood these people, they offer first class standard bhoga, standard foodstuffs. So he got a desire at that time. What was the desire? Yaichehya bhoga lage sakala I puchiba taiche bhiyane bhoga gopale lagaiba. Very nice. So why was he asking? Why was he asking that what bhoga you offer here? There was only one goal in his mind. My Gopal is waiting in Vrindavan. So if I get to know what these people offer, and since it's a very high-class bhoga, I can also prepare that and offer to my Gopal back in Vrindavan. That was the mood of Srila Madhavendra Puri. So at that time, the priest, the Brahmana, very nicely explained what all things they offer. Various different foodstuffs which are offered to Gopinath. Morning certain types of bhogas. Afternoon certain types of bhogas. And evening some special bhogas. And then he said, Sandhyaya bhoga lage kshira amrita keli nama dvadasha amrita patre bhari amrita samana. Then he said, in the evening time we offer special bhoga. And what was that special bhoga that they offer? They offer amrita keli. Amrita keli. Amrita means nectar. They offer nectar to the Lord. What is that nectar they offer? Kshira. They offer kshira. So now this kshira word becomes khira in Bengali because they skip the ksha. So you might have heard Srila Prabhupada saying Khatriya. Yes? So it's Kshatriya is a Khatriya. So ksha is removed. So ka remains. So khira. So the kshira is sweet rice. So he started describing, we offer very wonderful sweet rice to the Lord. Now the question might be, how much you offer? He said, Dvadasha mrita patri, 12 earthen pots full of sweet rice is offered to the Lord. And since the sweet rice tastes like amrita, sometimes devotees take some sweet and they say, aha, amrit. पर जीवन में अमृत खाए नहीं कभी. Amrit. But here it was amrita samana. Oh, it was as good as nectar. Therefore, they would call it as amrita keli. So this is the Prasad name or bhoga that's offered. Amrita keli. And he also said, look at the priest also. He's advertising very nicely. He said, this sweet rice is celebrated throughout the whole world as Gopinath Shira. It is not offered anywhere else in the entire world. Naturally now, Madhavendra Puri will feel, my God, it's like next level. Only here it is offered. So when all this talk was going on, then in front of Madhavendra Puri, it was evening time. In front of Madhavendra Puri, the 12 pots came. The 12 pots of Amrita Keli. And those pots were kept in front of the Lord. And at that time, Madhavendra Puri got a thought. And that thought was, Ayachita Shira Prasada Alpa Jadi Paya Swada jani taiche shira gopale lagaya. Madhavendra Puri decided, I am not going to ask. But without asking, if I get a little of this amrita keli, this sweet rice, I'll taste it and see the cooks, who are very expert. Just by tasting some item, they can tell what all thing is put in that. What is the recipe, they can easily make out. So, Madhavendra Puri, he said that little kheer if I get, I'll taste that and then I'll prepare the same for my Gopal back in Vrindavan. That was the mood. Now, as soon as he got this thought, immediately Madhavendra Puri, he felt really ashamed and he said, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. What is his desire? Bhoga is not even offered to the Lord. I am thinking to eat. I am an offender. I am aparadhi. Tell me frankly, how many times we have eaten before the bhoga is offered? Through our eyes and through our nose and through our ears. Ears also is enough, no? We asked some devotee, kya banaya aaj? I think that is enough. We eat it up. Especially here when we sit for japa and then the bhoga comes. Yes. So sometimes I tell devotees, keep it inside. I don't want to eat with its smell. Look at him. He is saying, oh, I've committed an offense. And he was feeling very, very guilty for it. Great souls feel guilty for small mistakes that they do. And neophyte sadhakas, they feel little guilty for big mistakes that they do and they forget after some time. I should say immediately they forget. But great souls, they'll remember this for a long time and they'll keep saying that I am aparadhi. There was one personality who was feeling this in Srimad Bhagavatam. Let me see if you can tell who is that. He was feeling that I'm an offender. How can I do this? Which Maharaj? Yudhishthir Maharaj. Which aparadhi he did? Okay, so he killed people in battle. Okay, Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj had this feeling. Where Parikshit Maharaj, if you see, it was not a very big thing that Parikshit Maharaj did. He just took a dead snake and put it around the neck of a Brahmana. But then Parikshit Maharaj, when he came back to his palace, for a long time he was cursing himself. He was feeling very, very guilty. I'm an offender. How can I do this? And what was he cursing himself? He was saying, let the biggest of the biggest catastrophe happen in my life. Will any one of us pray like that? Yes. Sabse bura cheez mere saath ho. This was the mood of Parikshit Maharaj. Literally feeling that. And when the news came that you have been cursed, that you will die in 7 days. So at that time, Parikshit Maharaj, he didn't say, oh, I didn't expect so fast. he didn't say that. He said, I deserve it. See, you see the difference between the great souls and the neophytes. Clear difference. Even Ajamil, for that matter, he was feeling so guilty for whatever he did, all the sinful activities. And he was cursing himself. And what sort of person am I associated with prostitute? I ate her jhuta, her remnants. What sort of person I am? How will I be forgiven? This is the entire mood of Ajamil also. And then he decided in that mood that now the only thing that I will do is renounce all this material, nonsensical things and just do devotional service. This was the mood of Ajamil. So we see this guilt feeling is a very, very important feeling for a sadhaka, because when we do something which is not proper and if we feel guilty, the fire of guilt burns the sinful reaction which are there in the heart of a devotee in the form of sinful tendencies. This guilt has the power because this guilt will enhance the devotion of a devotee. But yes, it shouldn't happen that the guilt takes over devotional service. Then everything is done. Everything is waste. Shamai vahi kevalam. Madhavendra Puri, he felt very, very bad. Now immediately the bhoga offering was done and the altar opened and the arti began and Madhavendra Puri attended the arti. And he left the temple. He didn't say anything to anyone. He just left the temple. So at that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Premamrita tripta kshuda trishna nahi badhe Shira ichha hailata hai mane aparadhe. So Srila Madhavendra Puri always dipped in premamrata, always relishing Krishna prem. He was completely satisfied. It was not that he was lacking something, he wants something. No, he was completely satisfied. Shuddha Trishna nahi bade. And see, one of the wonderful thing about Madhavendra Puri, or astonishing thing about Madhavendra Puri, is he was not go and beg also. Even if he's hungry, he'll sit. No, I'll not beg. I'll chant Hare Krishna. I'll not beg. This was the mood of Madhavendra Puri. But even when he was hungry, that hunger, that thirst was not at all troubling him. Not at all troubling him. Because he was tasting Krishna Prem, the mellows of Krishna Prem. But as soon as Ichha came, first time, Shira Ichha Lage, Shira Ichha Haila, as soon as he get that Ichha, that little sweet rice if I taste, it will be so nice. He considered this to be a great aparad. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling this not to all the associates with so much of pride. This is a devotee. Such a great devotee. So Madhavendra Puri left the place. He went to marketplace, and that day market was pretty empty. So he sat in one corner and he began to chant. Now this is such a nice thing. For great souls, place doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much chaotic the place is. They can continue doing their sadhana bhakti. But that is not the case with us, sadhakas. For us, we need a proper place, a favorable place to practice devotional service. You'll see a clear difference in your chanting when you sit in a temple-like atmosphere and when you sit in a place which is full of sense gratification. You can see a clear difference. You can see a clear difference when you go to Dham and chant and when you stay back in a metropolitan city full of sense gratification and chant. There's a clear difference. So for us, place matters, sthan matters. But for these great souls, sthan doesn't matter. He sat in a marketplace and he was chanting with absorption. So this was taking place here. So there the Pujari put the deities to rest and then he went to take rest. Now, till now Madhavendra Puri was getting dream. By Madhavendra Puri's influence, or because of Madhavendra Puri, now the Pujari also got a divine dream. And what was that dream? In that dream, Gopinath came, the beautiful deity of Remuna. He came and he said, Utha Pujari kara dwara vimochana, shira ek rakhiya che sannyasi karana. Utho, Pujari, sleeping. Utho Pujari, kara dwara vimochana. Come, open the door of the temple. The Pujari might ask, why you are asking me to open now at this time? Shira eka rakhiyachi sannyasi karana. I have kept one pot of sweet rice for a sannyasi and his name is Madhavendra Puri. Now Pujari might ask, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? I am very attentive in my service. How is it that I missed a pot? I missed a pot in the altar. How is it possible? So just to pacify the Pujari, Gopinath is telling him in the dream, don't worry. This pot I have hidden under my cloth curtain. And this I did it by trick so you couldn't understand. Don't worry. So Pujari said, oh, okay. If it's your Leela, then okay, no problem. Then Gopinath continued and he said, as Pujari might have asked, that what is his name? What am I supposed to do with this pot now? Where is he? He said, Madhava Puri sannyasi ache hate te vasiya taha ke ta ek shira shigra dehalaya. He's saying, take that pot and go to the marketplace. And there is one personality whose name is Madhava Puri or Madhavendra Puri. Madhava Puri. You go and give this pot to him. Now, Pujari, when he got this dream, immediately he got up. Now he started thinking, what he is supposed to do now? Should I directly enter the altar? No, that's not correct. Pancharatrika Vedi says that, no, that's not correct. So immediately he took bath. He took bath and he entered the altar. And as soon as he entered the altar, the way it was told in the dream, he saw behind the curtain, and guess what? There was one pot of sweet rice. So out of 12, Gopinath, he kept one pot behind the curtain. So he immediately the priest removed the pot, he mopped the entire area, and he left. Now he closed the door of the temple and he went to the village with this pot of kheer. And then he started calling loudly, Madhavendra Puri! Madhavendra Puri! Now, just to make sure that Madhavendra Puri knows why this pujari is calling, he told the reason also when he was calling loudly. He said, Shira laha ei jara nama Madhav Puri, Toma lagi Gopinatha Shira kaila churi. Loudly shouting, who is that Madhavendra Puri? Who is that Madhavendra Puri? For you, Tuma lagi Gopinatha, our dear Gopinath of Remuna, kaila chori. He has stolen from his own bhoga offering. From his own bhoga offering, he has stolen one pot of sweet rice for you. Now this pujari was very eager to see who this devotee is. Because he was understanding that if Gopinath, he is stealing something for someone, that devotee must be very special. Then he said, please come fast. Shira laya sukhe tumi karah bhakshane. Toma sama bhagyavan nahi tribhuvane. Hey Madhavendra Puri, where are you? Take the sweet rice and please relish the sweet rice. And let me tell you, no one is as fortunate as you in all the three worlds. Madhavendra Puri, Madhavendra Puri. And Madhavendra Puri is busy sitting and chanting. And then he heard his name. Madhavendra Puri, Madhavendra Puri. So immediately Madhavendra Puri, he got up from there. He went. Eta shuni Puri gosai parichaya dila shiradiya pujari tare dandavata haila. So Madhavendra Puri went to that pujari. He said, it's me. Madhavendra Puri. What is that you want to give me? And he said that this is the pot of sweet rice. And this pot of sweet rice is stolen by our Gopinath for you. Please take. He gave the pot, Madhavendra Puri held the pot. And guess what the pujari did? Immediately fell at the feet of Madhavendra Puri offering Dandavat. Very important point to note. Lord came in the dream of Madhavendra Puri to give him service. Madhavendra Puri is a very, very great personality. Lord came in the dream of Pujari and he gave him a service. Even that Pujari is no less. He is also a great devotee. But here this Pujari is offering obeisances. He being a Grihastha Brahmana, he is offering his obeisances to a sannyasi, Vaishnav, and he is expressing his gratitude. It's actually so wonderful. Those people who have attained the Lord, who have such reciprocations from the Lord, are very, very great personalities, no doubt. Because reciprocations, such sakshat reciprocations, will not happen with any Tom, Dick and Harry of this world. Tom, Dick, Harry, Das. No. Not happen with anyone and everyone. Yes, it's going to happen with only those exalted personalities. Don't you think this will be so wonderful? Yes. Even now in this age also, just a few years back, we heard that how Lord comes in the dream of some devotees and instructs them that I want to eat potato chips with chili powder. Dress me like this in this color. I want to have this list of bhoga offering tomorrow. Can you imagine? So wonderful. So wonderful. So it's all about one's own devotion towards the Lord, and Lord is ready to reciprocate. It is so nice. In the pastime of Sakshi Gopal, when the young Brahmana goes and tells Gopal that, come, he promised me that he'll give me his daughter, and now he's saying that he'll not be giving his daughter. You become the Sakshi. And Gopal, he spoke and he said that I'm a deity. How can I come to that place? So this Brahmana, he said, if deity can talk, deity can walk also. Please come. So deity They reciprocate based on the devotion of the devotee. It's just a matter of lack of devotion in us. Therefore, such direct reciprocation might not take place with us. But one reciprocation is something which all of us can meditate on is Lord is allowing us to render some service to Him every day. Lord is allowing us to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra of 16 rounds every day. He's inspiring us to do that every day. He's inspiring us to be in association of devotees. All these are also not less than some reciprocation. Therefore, it's very important that we recognize these different reciprocations in our life also. And that will give us a lot of inspiration and enthusiasm to continue devotional service. And more our devotion increases, more we become pure, giving up all the nonsensical desires, the material desires. Surely, we will also come to this platform one day. And trust me, reading all this only gives so much of happiness. When someone experiences this, why the devotee will not be happy in ecstasy? He will be. Now, what do you think was Madhavendra Puri's situation? The sweet rice was given to Madhavendra Puri. And Madhavendra Puri, when he heard this, he became absorbed in love of Krishna. Krishna stole for me. Me. Because all these great personalities, they always consider themselves to be insignificant. So he says, me. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. Same thing we see in Mahaprakash Leela of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, go get that Sridhar Kolavecha. He's just behind the upcoming Rajapur temple. He's there. His hut is behind. So when devotees went there and devotees said, you're Sridhar? Lord is calling you. Me? Me? I'm not qualified to be in the association of Vaishnavas. And he fainted. And devotees picked him, 4 devotees picked him and took him. That's a different pastime. So this is the mood of exalted souls where they continuously feel that they are good for nothing. They're insignificant. And they're not rendering enough service to the Lord. This is the mood of great souls. And when it comes to sadhakas like us, we do little and we feel, I did it. And we list down also. Yes. Last time I picked kachra from here, I put it in the dustbin. I. Last time I served 2 gulab jamuns to 2 devotees. I. We have a list of small things that we do. And we become proud of those small things. And here we have big personalities where Lord is coming in the dream and giving service and they're doing it. And they're feeling themselves to be insignificant. Having that feeling of being insignificant helps the devotee to relish very, very high levels of mellows of Krishna consciousness. It's very clear that more we become humble in Krishna consciousness, more we're going to advance and more we're going to relish, more we're going to experience the mellows of Krishna consciousness. And here Madhavendra Puri was feeling so insignificant and he was feeling, Lord stole it from me. And what do you think Madhavendra Puri did holding the pot in his hand? He just ate all of it in one go. This is what we're supposed to do. As soon as we get prasad, just eat it up. He finished the entire pot. Then he washed the entire pot. He broke the pot into pieces. He tied it into a cloth, made a potli and kept it close to himself. Thakura more shira dila loka sabashuni dine loka bheda be mora pratishtha jani. Now after doing all this, Madhavendra Puri started thinking, now everyone will get to know that the famous deity of Remuna, Gopinath, he has stolen a pot of kheer for me. And as soon as people get to know, they'll all come. Bhida Kori. A lot of crowd will come here. And all of them, they'll glorify me. And this glorification is not good. Therefore, I should immediately leave this place before it is morning. Can you imagine? It's very difficult to digest the mood of these great souls, to be very frank. Very difficult. If something like this happens with us, every moment we'll take a snap and we'll keep with ourselves. Next day to show, see, this is how the pujari came. He paid dandavats. Are you able to see? Are you able to see? And this is the kheer, top view, side view. We'll have all that ready. Yes. And the next day, we'll show it to everyone. this is how great devotee I am. And then all the devotees, would glorify, Prabhuji, you're so great and this and that. No, you don't know my greatness. Let me tell you more. Oh. Feels very small, when we read all this. And feels very painful also when we read all this. That what is expected from us and where are we? Very, very low level. Low level of consciousness is what is ours. Look at Madhavendra Puri's high level of consciousness. He is saying that, if people come around, my pratishtha will increase. And pratishtha is not good for devotional service. That's a big obstacle. Therefore, Madhavendra Puri wanted to leave the place immediately. And this is a fact. Great souls always accept those things which will enhance their Krishna consciousness. And they reject those things which will not help them to increase their love for Krishna. And this is the principle that all of us can also implement in our day-to-day life. We can accept those things which will help us to get closer to Krishna and reject those things, which will not allow us to get closer to Krishna. Very, very important. Very, very important. It's a very important principle. It's very easy to speak sitting on a Vyasasana. Not that easy, to implement in our day-to-day life. The intoxication or the nasha of glorification is something which everyone wants to have. At least all the Baddha Jivas want to have. Why we want to have it? After all, we are here to compete with Krishna. Krishna is glorified, so many hours. A few minutes, I can also be glorified. What is the problem? That's the problem. That's the problem. Therefore, I always say that Chaitanya Charitamrita is such a purifying scripture. More we read about such devotees, more, we will also get the desire. I also want to become like this. I also want to give up this desire, for sense gratification on the subtle platform called Pujala Pratishtha. Naturally, that desire creeps in. And it's very nice. Once the desire is planted in our heart, with time, it will grow very nicely. It will mature. And we'll also be able to exhibit such symptoms naturally. Now, Madhavendra Puri's plan was he leave the place, but he's carrying something, from there. What was he carrying? The broken pot. So he immediately paid obeisance to Gopinath. He left before sunrise. He took that, and his plan was, every day I'll eat one piece of it and remember the mercy of Gopinath. Aha. What a mood. What a mood. So here in the entire, this section, one thing that we can learn is, devotees love to glorify the Lord and not accept glorification for themselves. Because glorifying the Lord purifies the devotee, helps the devotee to get closer to Krishna. But one's own glorification will lead to one's own degradation in Krishna consciousness, not advancement in Krishna consciousness. So Madhavendra Puri, he started from Remuna. Where was he supposed to go? Vrindavan. He started from Vrindavan to Remuna. From Remuna to Nilachal, Jagannath Puri. Chali chali aila Puri, Srinila chale, Jagannatha dekhi haila, preme te vivale. So he came, chali. He came by walk. He came to Jagannath temple. He saw Lord Jagannath. Oh, he was ecstatic looking at Jagannath. He was so ecstatic. Same was the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the chakra from far, top of the temple, and he ran so fast that Nityananda and other devotees who were following him were not able to catch him. He ran very fast. And when he went there, he took darshan of Jagannath. Oh, he was ecstatic. He was ecstatic. Ecstatic. And here we see, same with Madhavendra Puri. What all other things happened when he took darshan of the Lord? Premaveshe uthe pade, hase nache gaya, Jagannatha darshane mahasukha paya. Premaveshe uthe. He was overwhelmed in ecstasy of love for Krishna. He would get up. Sometimes he would fall down. He would sometimes laugh, sometimes dance, sometimes sing. This was the ecstasy of Madhavendra Puri. कभी कभी डर लगता है ना ये सब पढ़ के, वो ऐसा होता है कृष्ण प्रेम, डराओ ना एकदम. They're still okay. Antya Leela and Mahaprabhu's ecstasy are discussed. Oh, what is that? Mahaprabhu is ecstatic, and from his every pore, It's not sweat that is coming out, blood is coming out. Suddenly he becomes like a ball. Suddenly he becomes like a splash of water on the floor. Suddenly he becomes like a boneless body. Very difficult to imagine also. But then I will not be able to understand this great modes of devotional service. Because after all, the Lord is exhibiting. He is showing that what it actually means to be ecstatic. You will not be able to come to this level, but this is my level. And Madhavendra Puri, Ashta Sattvic Vikar manifesting in his body. Now, when people saw Madhavendra Puri, they had already heard about Madhavendra Puri's glories from Vrindavan. So as soon as they got to know Madhavendra Puri has come, so many people came to take his darshan. They all were saying, oh, this is Madhavendra. They were talking to each other. This is Madhavendra Puri. This is Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri left Ramana because he was thinking a lot of people will crowd around and my pratishtha will increase. Better I leave this place. But then he comes to this place and same thing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Pratisthara bhaya puri gela palayana Krishna preme pratishtha chale sange gadana. Very nice. He is saying that being afraid of reputation, Madhavendra Puri fled from Remuna. But the reputation bought by love of Godhead, Krishna Prem, is so sublime that it goes along with the devotee wherever the devotee goes. So a pure devotee, he cannot escape pratishtha. He cannot escape following, name, fame. He cannot escape that. So now, Madhavendra Puri, he wanted to do the same thing what he did in Remuna. What he did in the Remuna? He paid obeisance to Gopinath, he left. He was thinking the same. Let me pay obeisance to Jagannatha and leave this place. But he didn't leave. Why? He had service. He was thinking, no, I cannot leave this place. I have some service to do. And immediately, Madhavendra Puri, he told all the servants of Jagannath that how the Gopal Deity was discovered, how the Gopal Deity was installed, and how Gopal Deity appeared in his dream and told him that he wants Chandan. Did Madhavendra Puri speak about Gopinath stealing kheer for him? अगर हम होते तो बोलते कि नहीं? तो ये सब वृंदावन में हुआ, अभी हाल फिलहाल में ये हुआ. But Madhavendra Puri didn't speak a single, because at least Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not talking about it. He didn't speak a single word about what happened in Remuna. He just said, he spoke whatever is needed for the seva, for service. He spoke all that. And now all the servants in Jagannath Puri, they all made the arrangements. They all went, they collected the sandalwood and camphor and other things. Not just this. 2 people were sent. One Brahmana and one servant with Madhavendra Puri. Because it was a huge cart of Chandan. So that Chandan had to be taken. And on the way, since that was the time when there was a rule of Mughals, Muslim rulers. So on the way, if someone sees that so much of Chandan is taken from one place to another, there will be a lot of problem. So what happened is Madhavendra Puri was given necessary release papers from the government. So Madhavendra Puri had those papers also placed in his hand. See, any service, it's not going to be easy. I'm talking about 500 plus years back. Even before the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, this pastime has taken place. And so much they have to endure, to render some service. So now, when Madhavendra Puri started from Jagannath Puri to Vrindavan, so what happened? What happened during that travel? Manake Chandana Tola Visheka Karpura Gopale Paraiba E Ananda Prachura. See, he was carrying huge 82 pounds of Chandan. He was carrying this. And 12 tolas or 8 ounces of camphor for Gopal. One point which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is highlighting here is glorifying with 5 mouths to all his associates, and he's saying that all this was there. Yes, he was carrying all this. This requires a lot of hard efforts, but Madhavendra Puri was not considering his personal comforts. He was feeling a great pleasure. You know what was the pleasure that Madhavendra Puri was feeling? What was that? Yes. Yes. I'll take this chandan and apply it on the body of the Lord, and Lord will feel great pleasure. He'll be happy. He'll be joyful. Thinking about Lord's pleasure, thinking about Lord's joy, he was feeling joy. He was feeling blissful while carrying the huge load of camphor and chandan. Now, since when he was walking, there was great restriction taking the sandalwood from Orissa, out of Orissa province. So at one place, everything was confiscated. The tax collectors who were there. So immediately Madhavendra Puri removed the papers. He showed all the documents, legal documents. I have all this permission. And then he was released from there. And he escaped all those difficulties. And finally, he came to Remuna. But a very important point that is made here about a pure devotee's mode of service. Praghada premera e swabhava achara nija dukkha vignadira na kare vichara. Very famous shloka this is. What is the sign of Krishna Prem is spoken here? What is the sign of Krishna Prem? Nija dukkha vigna adi na kare vichara. Nija dukkha. Personal discomfort and pain and obstacles on the path is not considered by that person who is relishing the mellows of Krishna Prem. They'll not consider. And this is exactly what we see in the life of Srila Prabhupada. What obstacles did Srila Prabhupada was fearful of? Where did he stop? Srila Prabhupada's journey was almost like Mother Ganga flowing. When Mother Ganga flows and there's an obstacle, she will take a different path and she'll keep flowing. She'll not stop. And similarly with Srila Prabhupada, so many obstacles were there, so many. But then, Nija dukkha vigna adi na kare vichara. He was not considering all this pain, all the obstacles, because he was on a different platform and the mood of service. The thought that this particular service, if it is done properly, my spiritual master Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Lord Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they'll all be pleased. Thinking about their pleasure, taking it as the heart and soul, life and soul, Srila Prabhupada was carrying out his wonderful services. When we read Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit, at times the eyes naturally become wet and there are goosebumps on the body thinking, how can an old man do all this? How can an old man do all this? And he was able to do all that because he was seeing who will be pleased. And this is exactly what is the mood that we people also should imbibe. Any service given to us, we should know, why am I doing it? For whose pleasure? And thinking about the smile on the face of the devotee whom we are serving for, naturally we'll get a lot of enthusiasm to serve. A lot of enthusiasm. And devotees can just carry on and on and on. Irrespective of Nija Dukkha Vigna Adi. They'll be able to carry on very easily. Therefore, we see when Srila Prabhupada left 14th November 1977, evening 7 hours 34 minutes, 7 o'clock 34 minutes. When Srila Prabhupada left at that time, there was a huge chaos in entire ISKCON all over the world. People not knowing it was hollowness. A big entity is removed from your life. It's hollowness. And at that time, there were many people around, they were saying, Srila Prabhupada didn't give you everything. Come, I'll give you. And so many other things. Many people took advantage of Srila Prabhupada's absence at that time. Gaudiya Math people, Radhakund Babajis, and so many others. If you see, any organization, any spiritual organization, if you find some foreigners, you should just understand it's just spillover from ISKCON. In Vrindavan also, any ashram, if you see a foreigner, you can easily make out it's just some spillover from ISKCON. That's it, nothing else. Now at that time, the ones who were leading the entire movement, they were having tough time. They could have also left at that time. Because huge chaos it was, huge. So many people were leaving. So many fights, this and that. But what was that impetus for these few people who wanted to keep ISKCON together? Why is it that these few people are going to all those people who are leaving ISKCON and getting them back and saying, no, you should stay together? Only one thing. Srila Prabhupada has asked us to stay united and cooperate. And Prabhupada will be pleased. For his pleasure, we will do it. This was the mood. So when we see that who will be pleased by this service, naturally the enthusiasm rises to such a great level that Nija Dukkha Vigna Adi Na Kare Vichara. This will naturally manifest in a sadhaka's life also. So many examples we can give on these lines, that so many devotees not caring about one's own pain and pleasure, they did that service. One example that is coming to my mind is the 3 couples sent by Srila Prabhupada to London. And if I'm not wrong, they had a small baby girl also. They had no thought about what's going to happen next. They had only one thought. Prabhupada will be pleased. And they did it. They had a nice friendship with George Harrison and rest. Other things manifested. And Srila Prabhupada was called saying, now we have a center, you can come. And guess what? Krishna book was printed by that personality whom these people cultivated. And Prabhupada was so happy, so happy. Prabhupada went there, he saw these 3 couples and very proud of these 3 couples, he said, my spiritual master sent a sannyasi disciple to this place and the sannyasi disciple couldn't do what my grihastha disciples have done. He was so proud of his disciples, so proud. Same with those devotees who were engaged in publishing Chaitanya Charitamrita in 2 months. Nija dukkha vignadi na kare vichara. They struggled day and night, 24/7 shifts. And in 2 months, they published all the volumes of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, which we are discussing today with joy. Very inspiring, very, very inspiring. So what happened next? Mlecha desha dura patha jagati apara kemate chandana neba nahi ke vichara. See, Madhavendra Puri was not at all anxious. See, someone tells you that Prabhuji bach ke rehna, ye commodities leke ja rahe aap. Actually, it's not allowed in the other state. As soon as you cross our province of Orissa, you have to face a lot of problems. So I think when we are walking in Orissa only, I think we'll have a lot of pain in the heart, thinking about what's going to happen next. कौन पकड़ेगा मुझे? कौन से जेल में डालेगा? कैसे निकलूं वहां से? What arrangements to make? But when it comes to our Madhavendra Puri, very clearly it is given here, not at all anxious during the entire journey. Not at all anxious. He was going on and on and on. He didn't have a single penny with him. All this is described by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'm repeating again and again. Who is describing this? Supreme Lord is speaking about his devotee. He's saying he didn't have a single penny. But he was not at all afraid of any of the toll officers there. His only enjoyment was that thought, I'll take this chandan, make paste out of it, offer it to Gopal. Gopal will feel cool. He'll get the pleasure. That thought, he was joyful. He was joyful. And finally, chali, walking, he came to the place of Ramuna. When he came to that place, it is described, he offered obeisance to Gopinath. Did that Pujari recognize Madhavendra Puri or no? Because it was, I think, a good number of weeks had passed. What do you think? Pujari recognized? How can he forget? How can he forget Madhavendra Puri? You know what Pujari did? Any idea? He paid obeisances. Immediately got one pot of Amrita Keli and gave it to him. Maybe he was thinking, before the Lord steals, I'll give it. He gave it. Such a wonderful pastime. Madhavendra Puri was tested by the Lord. Lord Chaitanya is saying, Pariksha karite Gopala kaila agya dana, Pariksha kariya shesha haila dayavana. Lord Krishna tested Madhavendra Puri, and Madhavendra Puri passed his examination, Prabhupada's translation. He passed his examination, and Lord became very merciful to him. What was the mercy? Here is a very nice The mercy was the third dream. The first dream was, I'm stuck here in these bushes, take me out and install me. Second dream was, yes, he ordered, get me Chandan from Nilachal. And now this is the third dream. When the Chandan is got to Remuna, now from Remuna he is supposed to go to Vrindavan. This is the third dream. And this dream says, Gopala Asiya kahe, Shuno he Madhava. Hey Madhav, Shuno. Karpura Chandana Ami Pailama Saba. I've already accepted your offering. Hari Bol. Already accepted your Chandan. I've already accepted the camphor. Now, grind Chandan with camphor and apply it to Gopinath. There's no difference between me and Gopinath. So maybe Madhavendra Puri might be confused and like, कैसे अलग अलग है ना दोनों? वो वृंदावन में, ये रेमुना में. So there is one line which Lord is saying, don't doubt on this. Don't doubt that me and Gopinath are same personality. And very beautifully it is described that after giving this order, देखिए शुद्ध भक्त बनना भी आसान नहीं है. Order पे order मिलेगा. Can you see the orders that Madhavendra Puri is getting one after another? So he got this order. And then he came out of the dream and immediately engaged the two assistants that came with him from Jagannath Puri. He called the servants of Gopinath. He called some other people to grind the Chandan paste. And it is described that Lord had told him, finish the entire Chandan here, applying it onto Gopinath. I was thinking, अगर मैं इनके जगह पे होता, what I would have done is, I would have assigned some people, you take care, I'm going for another service. But you know what Madhavendra Puri did? He stayed back. He stayed back till the entire last piece of Chandan was there, he was there. When entire Chandan was completed, or taken and applied on the body of Gopinath, then the Madhavendra Puri, he left. Example of end-to-end service. So wonderful. Our Acharya is teaching how to serve also. End-to-end service. Therefore, when Lord Chaitanya spoke all these pastimes, pastime at Vrindavan, then pastime at Remuna, then Jagannath Puri, back in Remuna, and Madhavendra Puri went back to Jagannath Puri to spend 4 months of Chaturmas because he cannot travel far to Vrindavan. So he decided that I'll stay back for Chaturmas in Jagannath Puri and then I'll go to Vrindavan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, sitting there in the temple of Remuna, very beautifully, he is glorifying Madhavendra Puri. Being obliged because of the loving affairs of Madhavendra Puri, Lord Krishna appeared as Gopal Deity. Accepting his service, he liberated the whole world. Gopinath Shira Kaila Churi, Lord Gopinath stole the pot of sweet rice. Sri Gopal wanted to show how intensely Madhavendra Puri loved Krishna. And therefore he asked Madhavendra Puri, go to Nilachal and get Chandan for me. So in this way, Madhavendra Puri is helping us to understand how to be the best instrument in the hands of Guru and Krishna. Ready to do anything for their service. Always keeping in the mind what is going to give pleasure to their lordships. And endeavoring for that without considering one's own pains or pleasures. And all the time having this mood of humility that I don't deserve this. It is only Lord's mercy. And if Lord empowers, I can do any service. So all these different things we can learn from Madhavendra Puri. We can beg and pray to him that please shower your blessing so that we can also render some insignificant service for this glorious mission before we leave this body. And very, very important, the instruction when it is given, it has to be executed end to end. The instruction that we have got from our parampara has to be executed end to end. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Madhavendra Puri ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.